This is the Kryptonite Evolution Mini 7 bike lock with the comes with 4-foot cable as well. This one's I've had this for over 2 years. It came with 2 keys. Now they come with 3 keys. One of the keys has a LED light on it. I don't know if that would have much utility for me, but some people like that. To me, it's just a bulkier key. I don't like to carry a bulky key around. Pretty nice deal with Kryptonite. You can register your lock, and so if you lose your keys, they're able to provide you a set for free. I don't think they'll provide an infinite number of sets, but they'll provide you with one at least. This has been a good solid lock for me. As I said, it's called the Mini 7, so named because the inside dimension here from here to here is about 7 inches. I'll measure that here in a little bit, but the key dimensions for a U-lock like this are this and this, because that defines you know, you need to match that to the dimensions of your bicycle plus whatever you're going to be locking it to make sure you have enough lock to go around all that. The cable's nice because it lets you put something around your wheel. So typically you get the frame and back wheel with the U-lock, and then you put the cable around the front wheel. So that's nice. I've never actually weighed this. I'll weigh this and we'll see. And because we're cyclists, let's weigh it. Let's see how much this thing weighs. It ain't going to be light. So 1290, so about 1300 grams. So quite a bit, but you can definitely get heavier locks. Anyhow, let me give you the measurements on this. It's like I said, it's called the Mini 7, so that's kind of going to give away part of this, but you know, let's just test that marketing. So yeah, a little less than 7 inches, but right at 7 inches long, and about 3.5, less than 3.5, more like 3.25 on the inside dimension. So you'll see a lot of people measure from outside dimension and outside dimension. That means nothing. The ones that count are the inside dimensions. So anyhow, I'm going to take this out and lock a few things up with it, or lock my bike to a few things with it, and show you how it works, and give you some idea, if you're in the market for one of these, what you need to be aware of in terms of the sizing on your bike and the sizing of the lock. So here's one example. This is just like a post, right? I'm not recommending that you just find some random post to lock your bike to. You got to make sure it's secure on the ground and make sure your bike can't be slid off the top easily. So I don't know if I would recommend leaving your bike attached to this. Someone's determined these will come right off and your bike will slide off the top. But anyhow, this is how you do it. You put the U-bolt around one around the frame, and 2 around your tire, and 3 around the post. Right, there it is around the post. So there, your back tire and your frame should be secure there. And then you loop the cable around the front wheel to have some measure of security around that. Not ultra secure, but better than nothing. So here's an example where you need to know the dimension, right? This is actually pretty tight at this angle. So a Mini 5, or even probably a Mini 6 if such a thing exists, is not going to work here. 7 and 9 will do just fine. I picked the 7 because I want the lightest lock I can get. I mentioned that the inside dimensions along the length and the width of the lock are important, but also the thickness of the U-bolt itself is important. But it's a trade-off. The thicker the heavier, the thicker the safer. I think I think Kryptonite classifies this as a class 7 lock, so 10 is the most secure, so it's, you know, it's up there on their security scale. But this thickness, you know, it's probably okay. If you go buy like a big box store lock, it's going to be noticeably smaller than this. One thing I do remember about this, I had to get some bolt cutters to remove a lock from the gate to my backyard. I got some 18-inch bolt cutters. 18 inches refers to the length of the lever arm on the bolt cutter. And they, you know, I just, since I have them, right, I was like, you know, could I break into my bike with this thing? And I think the cable would be no problem, but, you know, I think even almost handheld nippers, you know, a good pair of dikes would probably get through that. That's just basically there to keep honest men honest. But the 18-inch bolt cutters, I don't think that the jaws open wide enough really to get purchase on this. So you would need, you know, maybe a 24-inch would do it, but I'm skeptical even that would. So you'd need some pretty big bolt cutters to get through this, or an angle grinder. But obviously an angle grinder has obvious disadvantages. If you're a thief, people are going to notice that and wonder why you're grinding a lock off a bike. So yeah, that's something else to consider about the lock. And here's the other way to lock your bike. Same requirements. 1, tire. 2, frame. Right, you got the frame there, and 3, you got through the post. Now in this case, the cable's not long enough to stretch all the way, so you got to run it through itself. It's a good point to bring up. When you get a cable, make sure the loop is big enough to run the cable through itself, so you can do stuff like this. Just another way to lock it up. You know, so I've had this, like I said, I've had this for quite a while, obviously, and I haven't taken very good care of it, right? I haven't been hard on it, but I haven't taken great care of it, but it's been reliable and it's held together pretty good. I can't really speak to the weather resistivity of this thing. It's been out in the rain a couple of times, but not too many. It does have this thing here to keep dirt and grime out of it. Once a year, I'll take some degreaser and squirt in there and kind of clean things out, and then put a couple of drops of sewing machine oil in there. I think actually Kryptonite recommends that you not do that, but it's worked for me. The lock still works smooth and everything, so